विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। कथा गेला थोरा नटराज पाषाण कुटीव माथा आनले पश्ये Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki, Jai Gaur Premanande.
Hare Krishna. Welcome everyone to our Sunday program today. Thank you all so much for coming. Today we are honored and privileged to hear from His Grace Hari Parshad Prabhu. Hari Parshad Prabhu was here yesterday as well, and Prabhu is a renowned scholar. He's a wonderful speaker and recent author as well. In my experience, it is very easy to read Srimad Bhagavatam. It is harder to understand Srimad Bhagavatam. It is much harder to get the joy from like the Srimad Pasa and the Srimad Bhagavatam. And every time Hari Parshad Prabhu has ever shared a pastime of Sri Krishna from Srimad Bhagavatam, it is almost as if the pastime it happens in front of our eyes, and you get to enjoy so much of the Jal Jeera Ras from Srimad Bhagavatam. Prabhu told us today his favorite juice was Jal Jeera. So that is why I'm saying that. I still remember many years ago, Prabhu gave class it was on Jatta Maharaj's Vyaspuja. Prabhu gave class on a verse of Srimad Bhagavatam that explained what stress Mother Yashoda was having thinking about her child, thinking about Lord Krishna walking, and all of the mischief that can happen, all of the trouble that may happen when Krishna once he starts walking. And I must have shared that shloka from Srimad Bhagavatam to at least 100 women since then, because that class, and I have heard that class so many times, it is, if you're a parent, it is a class worth listening to, because it really made me understand Nanda Yashoda's mood, which I don't think I would have ever understood until Prabhu shared that wonderful shloka about the stress of transcendence of motherhood. Transcendence of stress or something is how that verse is translated. Very beautiful. But again, Prabhu has presented so many wonderful topics here, and he's back here at our temple with his wonderful wife and their son Hari, and we are so happy. Mataji, welcome again back to our community. Today, Hari Parshad Prabhu will also be speaking from a very beautiful pastime of Sri Krishna, from the Krishna and the Syamantaka jewel. A very beautiful story, and we're excited to hear from Hari Parshad Prabhu. As I mentioned earlier, for those of you who just came earlier this morning, one of our prominent spiritual masters and leaders in the International State for Krishna Consciousness, ISKCON, he departed this morning, His Holiness Gopal Krishna Maharaj. So on the right, we see his picture and some flowers. Towards the end of the class, Prabhu will speak some more about Gopal Krishna Maharaj. During the Arati, you're welcome to offer some flowers to Maharaj at this time, but during the class, we request everyone to please stay seated and pay attention to the words of Srimad Bhagavatam. So let us loudly chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra to welcome His Grace Hari Parshad Prabhu back here to the home of Shri Radha Kunj Bihari at ISKCON of Round Rock. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, dear devotees, for kindly being present here today. I'm beginning this particular talk with mixed emotions because on one hand we have the distressing news that His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj has left us to continue his seva of Srila Prabhupada in other ways, but we will not be able to have his association in the form of his vapu, in the form of his physical body anymore, and that news is very distressing for us. So it is difficult to speak anything, but it is Vaishnav culture to glorify Vaishnav who has contributed so much for the movement of Srila Prabhupada. I first saw Maharaj in Juhu in the year 2001, and I had come into the association of devotees, and early morning in Mangalarti, I saw Maharaj was circumambulating the Tulsi Maharani, and I immediately understood that he is senior in the movement. So I just paid my pranams to Maharaj. So Maharaj immediately came near me and he held my hand and said, "What is your name? How are you doing? Is everything okay with you?" So despite being a leader of such seniority, Maharaj always took out time to ask the well-being of the individual devotees, even though those devotees may not be very important at all. This, dear devotees, was the first quality about Maharaj that struck me, and this was in Juhu back in the year 2001. And he always took out time to meet his disciples, to meet all the devotees who were managing the temple, and especially he created so many temples. I mean, making new temples for the service of Srila Prabhupada. This was the main seva that he took upon himself. So the creation of new temples and management of those temples is the primary seva that he took upon himself, and so many wonderful devotees, they came up under his guidance on the path of bhakti. Whenever I visit NCR, North Central region of India, all the temples there basically were created and were being managed under the guidance of Maharaj. So, dear devotees, it is very difficult to bear the loss of such an exalted devotee who has, such an exalted Vaishnava who has done so much for the service of Srila Prabhupada. See, all Sakala Vaishnava Gurava, all devotees are gurus. All Vaishnavas are our Gurujanas. There is no doubt about that. But in that, the Shiksha and Diksha Gurus are considered to be most important. And Maharaj acted as Shiksha and Diksha Guru for so many Vaishnavas around the world. Today, all of them are feeling separation from Maharaj. But at the same time, dear devotees, it's only after the disappearance of the spiritual master that the disciple falls into a crisis that they have never experienced before. And this crisis is very unique because every disciple has a different nature. And there cannot be one answer to the question, what should I do now? There cannot be one answer to this question. Because every disciple who experiences the disappearance of their Guru is going to ask this question, what is my duty at this point of time? The problem is that there is no one answer to this question. And therefore, every disciple is forced to re-evaluate themselves, especially after the disappearance of the Guru. And this re-evaluation, because see, it's a period of distress, but it is only after going through some distress that people mature and come out even stronger on their path. Nobody becomes strong by going through easy situations. We become strong only when we go through some difficult situation. So those of us who are experiencing a difficult situation today, please know that this difficult situation is going to come sooner or later in the lives of all the devotees. It's not that only those who took initiation from Maharaj, they should feel existential crisis today. Those who did not even end up taking Diksha from him should also know that sooner or later such a day may not, it will come for all of us. And At that particular point of time, when we have an existential crisis, what should I do? At that particular time, we should have an answer for that query within our mind. So, dear devotees, the disappearance of a Vaishnava is already very painful, but it is the nature of pain that it makes us more mature and sturdy in this world. Nobody became sturdy by going through joyous situations. So, as long as Bhagavan desired for us to have the Sangha of Maharaj, we had it. And then there comes a point where Bhagavan says, now this is the limit of the Sangha. Now there should be seva in viraha, there should be service in separation. So I empathize with all the Shiksha Diksha disciples of Maharaj. Maharaj is Gurujan for me also. All the disciples of Srila Prabhupada are Gurujanas. But I empathize especially with those who are Diksha initiated disciples of His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj. Because at this particular point of time, those who are grieving, they need empathy. They need somebody who can understand what they are going through. So my empathies are there with those disciples of Maharaj around the world who are currently in the process of coming to terms with the loss that has occurred. And I sincerely hope that with the blessings of Maharaj, all of them may come out stronger, more mature, and more dedicated to the cause of Shri Krishna Sankirtan. Because that is what ultimately will make Maharaj very happy. Very happy. Dear devotees, there is something said in Shastra, I will end at this point. There is something said in Shastra, it is applicable for material relatives, it is not applicable for spiritual master. It is applicable for the passing away of a material relative. But still I will mention it. It is said that after the passing away of a near and dear relative in the material world, one should not cry too much. The number of tears that one cries, those tears have to be drunk by the person who has passed away. It is said. But this is for material relatives, dear devotees. Instead, what a person should do is, a person should meditate on what can be done next after passing away of the relative. Therefore, it is said that please don't cry so much. Of course, cry we must. Who will stop us from crying? But after a certain time, we should make ourselves sober, and then we should think about what is the best course of duty that can be followed at this particular point of time. So I sincerely hope for all the disciples of Maharaj that they find strength and comfort in the big association, International Society for Krishna Consciousness. So please don't think that you are isolated because ISKCON is not a mutt with only one guru and that guru has left. ISKCON is an international society with many Vaishnavas who are willing to support all the Vaishnavas who are currently experiencing distress. So please, all of us, in our minds, whenever we see any disciples of Maharaj, especially since this is the initial phase, whenever we see disciples of Maharaj, we should immediately extend our support and our empathy to the disciples of Maharaj. This is the best thing we can do for the disciples. And since Maharaj is much senior to us, we can't do anything for him. Sometimes people say, pray for him. Yesterday there was, pray for him, pray for him. So I am thinking, what should I pray, actually? If he would listen to me, I would request him to pray for me, because he is much more in proximity to the previous acharyas than I am. I am one link down. I am one generation later to him. His proximity to the parampara is greater than mine. So therefore, I am definitely, there are all auspicious symptoms that he left the world on a very auspicious day on the beginning of Dwadashi. The glories of Dwadashi are described in elaborate detail in the Hari Bhakti Vilas. And he left this world in a dham in India, in Bharat Bhumi. All auspicious symptoms of departure were present in his case. So my sincere prayers to Maharaj, and I sincerely hope that Maharaj blesses all of us with all of his sincerity and all of his dedication that he demonstrated towards Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna. Dear devotees, this particular day is a little heavy for us, but it is also the responsibility of a Vaishnava to not keep it very heavy, because all of us have come here to listen to some Krishna Katha. And Krishna Katha is also supposed to give us some joy. So dear devotees, I'll be speaking Krishna Katha and I'll be speaking the episode of Syamantaka Jewel. But this episode is a very, very serious episode. There is murder involved in this episode. But so that it doesn't weigh down heavily upon the audience, I will try to keep it light-hearted, dear devotees. All right? You have to support me in this endeavor. Krishna Katha is supposed to be joyous, madhuram. So dear devotees, before I begin, there is Shisht Parampara, tradition established by the previous Acharyas to perform Mangalacharan. Most of us know these verses. You can kindly sing along with me. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Soyam Rupah Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desha Tarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvishe Namah He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanjana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrashabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Srila Prabhupada ki His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj ki Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Nitai Gaur Premanande. Dear devotees, since I said today is Maharaj's disappearance and many Vaishnavas are feeling the heaviness of Maharaj's absence, Shri Raghunath Das Goswami also felt very heavy and very sad when Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu disappeared from this world. And Shri Rupa Goswami was always wondering what I could do for Raghunath Das Goswami, what he could do for Raghunath Das Goswami to make him feel better. Dear devotees, there is one solution, at least an immediate solution for sadness, and the solution for sadness is happiness. Sri Rupa Goswami wrote a literature, Dan Keli Kaumudi. In this literature, he wrote this literature only for Sri Raghunath Das Goswami. Because Raghunath Das Goswami was in great depression after Chaitanya Mahaprabhu left this world. So after reading Dan Keli Kaumudi, Raghunath Das Goswami started laughing. He started laughing, became very, very happy after reading Dan Keli Kaumudi. The devotees, one of the services of the Vaishnavas is to bring a smile on the faces of those devotees who are experiencing distress due to separation from a near and dear one. So this Katha is being said in a similar spirit, dear devotees. I am with all of you in experiencing the distress, but I also have an added responsibility to lift the mood of the audience. With this responsibility, I am speaking the Katha. So please take it in that manner, dear devotees. Dear devotees, Sri Krishna, our Bhagavan Sri Krishna is, he appeared in Mathura and then he grew up in Vrindavan. And for 11 years he stayed in Vrindavan, dear devotees. At the age of 11, our Bhagavan Sri Krishna suddenly decided to give up the life of a cowherd boy and to accept the life of a king. And while sitting on the chariot of Akrura, yesterday I specified, he clearly spoke a lie to the Vrajavasis. What was the lie? I'll come back. Did he ever have any intention of fulfilling his promise? And the Vrajavasis also understood that he is not going to return back. He went to Mathura, and from Mathura at least some news used to come that what is Krishna doing, how is he living. After Jarasandh attacked Mathura 17 times, and 18th time Krishna decided to shift his entire kingdom from Mathura to Dwarka. This is technically called Sudur Pravas. Bhagavan has gone away so much, now not even the news of Bhagavan will arrive so easily. Dear devotees, in Dwaraka, Sri Krishna married not one, not two, but 16,100 princesses, most of whom were in great distress because they were kidnapped by Bhaumasur. Krishna rescued the princesses and married them and made all of them his eternal associates. Dear devotees, while staying in Dwarka, however, a particular pastime occurred, and this is the pastime of the Syamantaka jewel. Please hear carefully. This pastime has a lot of twists and turns, and I am going to explain those twists and turns to the best of my capacity. In Dwaraka, besides Sri Krishna, there were many smaller rulers. One of the ruler, dear devotees, one small ruler in Dwaraka, his name was Satrajit. So the name is Satrajit. Satrajit was a great worshipper of Surya Dev. Traditionally in India, there are 5 deities who are worshipped very much. I will speak the name of those 5 deities. Please repeat after me. Vishnu, Shiva, Shakti, Ganesh, Surya. These 5 sampradayas exist in India. Worshippers of Vishnu, worshippers of Shiva, worshippers of Ganesh, worshippers of Shakti, worshippers of Surya. Satrajit was a worshipper of Surya Dev. He is such a devout worshipper of Surya Dev that every day he had a very rigid schedule of worshipping Surya. And you know, Surya is the god you can see in front of you. He is that Devata. You don't need to make a deity of Surya Dev in the temple. What is the reason? So you can see Surya Dev in the sky. No need of a deity. This reminds me of a funny incident. When the first Christian missionaries went to Japan, the Japanese understood that these people are here for converting us, and the Japanese were worshippers of the nature, sun god. So the Christians came and told the Japanese, you should worship the Son of God, Jesus. And the Japanese said, every day, here is the Son of God. Right there in the sky. Here is the Son of God. You should worship the son of God, the Japanese told. So the Japanese emphasized Surya Puja to the Christians, whereas the Christians were telling them to worship Jesus as the son of God. Satrajit was a big worshipper of Surya Dev. One fine day, Sri Jiva Goswami says in his commentary, something happened. How did this Syamantaka Mani come to Satrajit? How did it come into the picture? First and foremost, I will tell you something about Syamantaka Mani. What is the meaning of Syamantaka? I tried to find a lot in the dictionaries what is the meaning of Syamantaka. This term Syamantaka is not present in Amar Kosh, any standard Sanskrit dictionaries. In a very rare dictionary, Vishwa Prakash, the meaning of Syamantaka is given. Simantayati nabham iti Syamantaka. Simantayati, it partitions the sky into two parts by its effulgence. Its effulgence goes like a ray of light in the sky, and the sky appears to be divided into two parts because of this ray of light. Therefore, Simantayati, it divides even the sky by its effulgence. Therefore, it is known as what? Syamantak. This is the meaning, derivation of the term Syamantak. This Syamantak Mani was originally with Surya Dev. And because Satrajit, who was a smaller ruler in Dwarka, he worshipped Surya Dev so intensely, Sri Jiva Goswami says, one fine day Surya Dev happened to come down into the palace of Satrajit. When Surya Dev came in the palace of Satrajit, Surya Dev was dazzling. Satrajit could not see who it was, but Satrajit understood, my worshipable deity is here. Satrajit folded his hands and said, my pranam, Surya Dev, but I have one complaint. He said, what is the complaint? I am seeing you here exactly as I see you in the sky. What is the difference? If I have to see you exactly as I see you in the sky, I am not able to see your personal form. Surya Dev said, all right, I will show you my personal form. And then Surya Dev took out a necklace from around his neck and kept it on the table besides. Which mani was this? Which jewel was this? Syamantak. And then Satrajit saw, oh my goodness, this mani is very wonderful. Usually, dear devotees, those who are devotees of Vishnu, they don't have many material desires. Sometimes devotees of other deities may have some material desires. So Satrajit started speaking to Surya Dev. It is described by the Acharyas, they spoke for 48 minutes. Surya Dev waited in Satrajit's palace for how many minutes? 48 minutes. And both of them had a nice conversation. After this, Surya Dev said, all right, Satrajit, I hope you are happy. Now I am going. Thank you so much for being such a nice worshipper. Surya Dev even said, I am like your friend. I am like your friend. This is what Satrajit was waiting for. Satrajit said, Surya Dev, can I ask you something as a friend? Surya said, what? Can I have that money? Now, first time a friend is asking you something, and if you say, no, I will not give you, then Surya Dev's name will be spoilt in history, that he did not give his devotee what the devotee wanted. So the Surya Dev said, really? All right, I'll give it to you, but there's one condition. This money has to be worshipped very nicely, very nicely. Otherwise, wherever it is worshipped nicely, there will be no disease, there will be no drought, there will be no problems. But if it is not worshipped properly, then you may have problems. Satrajit said, don't worry, I will worship it very nicely. The Acharyas say, very nicely means everything should be offered to one person. To whom should everything be offered? Krishna. And that is not what Satrajit did. And therefore, ultimately, the money was not worshipped nicely. And this led to all the difficulties that were going to come in the future. Dear devotees, Satrajit wore that money around his neck. Now, who was dazzling like Surya Dev? Satrajit. And then Satrajit started walking around in Dwarka. people started saying, my goodness, who is this person? Surya Dev came down or what? Huh? They all ran to Krishna's palace. Krishna, at that point of time, it is described, Krishna was playing Chausar. You know what is Chausar? Previously, they had a game which Kauravas and Pandavas played, dice game. This dice game was played on a plus-signed, plus-shaped, board. This plus-shaped board is called Chausar. In Hindi, it is called Chaupad. In Sanskrit, it is called Chausar. And in this Chausar, Krishna was playing on his dice. Question: is there gambling in the spiritual world? Philosophical question. Is there gambling in the spiritual world? Rules and regulations are mostly applicable to conditioned souls in the material world. In the spiritual world, you may have some Vaishnavas who may not follow all the rules and regulations strictly. Those rules are not at all applicable on them. So dear devotees, of course on Krishna, though none of these rules are applicable, Krishna was playing Chausar. Many residents of Dwarka came and said, Krishna, did you see Surya Dev is roaming around? It seems he is coming to meet you. Krishna laughed and said, that is not Surya. Who told you? He is our Satrajit. Huh? Let him come here. So Satrajit entered with brilliant effulgence. And in front of Krishna, Satrajit kept his jewel besides. And then all the Dwarkavasis said, wow, Satrajit, how did you get this jewel? Satrajit said, nothing, I am just a humble worshipper of Surya Dev. Today Surya Dev felt merciful on me. So he came and he just gifted me out of his unconditional friendship. This was not the case, by the way. The money was asked from me. Unconditional mercy, he just gave me his money. And this is what it is. I am small devotee. Everybody started glorifying Satrajit. Wow, Satrajit, all glories to your bhakti. All glories to your devotion. You today got this Syamantaka jewel from Surya Dev himself. We should organize a big festival. So they did organize a big festival. Krishna was also very happy. They organized a big festival and ritually consecrated the Syamantaka jewel in a temple. The Brahmanas were invited and the Syamantaka jewel was ritually placed in a temple and worshipped by the Brahmanas of Dwarka. And dear devotees, Krishna was present in that ceremony. And from that day onwards, they started noticing that the Syamantaka jewel is producing 4 kilograms of gold every day. Every day this jewel is producing around 2 kgs, 4 pounds. 4 pounds of gold, around 2 kgs of gold was being produced every day by this jewel. Everybody was happy. Satrajit knew this is this jewel is mine. One time, after that some problems began to happen. Krishna once came to Satrajit and said something. See, Satrajit, very nice. You got Syamantaka jewel, everything is nice. I want to give you a suggestion, Satrajit. Will you please listen to me? He said, what? Can we keep this jewel in the custody of Maharaj Ugrasen? Ugrasen was the official ruler of Dwarka. He was carrying out the duties of ruling. Krishna was in the back seat. Krishna had taken retirement from his ruling duties. But Ugrasen Maharaj was actually ruling Dwarka. So Krishna said, can you give this Syamantaka jewel to Maharaj Ugrasen? We will use the gold that comes from it for public welfare projects. We will use it for helping the poor. We will use it for constructing bridges and making wells and so many things. Satrajit gave a typical Indian reply. What did Satrajit say? Yes, I will definitely think about it. Many times when Indian people have to say no, they don't say no. What do they say? Yeah, I'll think about it. And then later they don't do it, thinking that the other person will forget. After a few weeks, Krishna came back and said, Satrajit, do you remember I had asked you about the Syamantaka? Can we place it in Ugrasen Maharaj's custody? Yeah, I am thinking about it. You see, I have to consult my family members also. I am thinking about it. So like this, Satrajit started playing games with Krishna directly. Now, at this point of time, the Acharyas say, usually a person should voluntarily offer anything they have to Krishna. Krishna shouldn't have to ask for it. What to speak of Krishna asking for it? And then what to speak of saying no to Krishna despite Krishna asking for it? Definitely Satrajit's days are not going to be good ahead, the devotees. Pretty soon something happened after that. Satrajit started developing a little doubt on Krishna. Why is Krishna asking again and again for my Syamantak money? I am a little afraid that Krishna is very powerful. He may use his power to snatch away this Syamantak money from me. This doubt entered into the mind of Satrajit. Satrajit then did something. Satrajit said, instead of putting this money in a temple, I will put this in a closed casket. And this casket I will make a necklace around my neck. And then I will roam around everywhere. So every night when he is going to sleep, he is putting that jewel in a casket. And in that casket he is putting around his neck, and then he is going to sleep. This is the attachment that Satrajit developed to Syamantaka. One fine day, Satrajit's brother, his name is Prasen. Prasen wanted to go out hunting. And Prasen casually took the Syamantak money, put it around his neck and went for hunting. Because he's my brother and both of us are responsible for protecting it. Prasen put it around his neck and went for hunting. That was going to be the last day of Prasen's life. When Prasen, Satrajit's brother, entered into the forest, there was a lion who jumped on Prasen and mauled him to death. And also the horse which Prasen was riding was also killed. So Prasen's body was lying there, the horse was dead there. Then the lion wanted to eat Prasen, and when he snapped on his neck, that time the necklace broke open and something came from inside the necklace. What came out? Syamantaka. The lion was amazed to find Syamantaka. Lion gave up Prasen, took Syamantaka, and lion started walking with Syamantaka. And there, at some distance, there was a cave. And lion decided to hide this jewel inside a cave. Little did the lion know that it was going to be the last day of his life also. Because inside the cave, somebody was waiting. There was somebody who used to stay inside the cave. Who used to stay inside the cave? Not a person of Dwapar Yuga. A person of the strength of Treta Yuga used to stay inside the cave. Jambavant was staying inside the cave. Their devotees, usually bears, they live to stay inside caves. So Jambavant was staying inside that cave and it was pitch dark. And when Jambavant saw that a brilliant light is entering, Jambavant went and slaughtered the lion, took the jewel and threw the lion outside the cave. And jewel, he liked it. He said, Acha, what to do? I will give it to my son as a toy. So Jambavant gave it to his son, the Syamantak money, to play as a toy. This is what happened with the Syamantak money, dear devotees. Back in Dwarka, somebody is getting distressed. Who is getting distressed? Satrajit. Because what happened to Prasen? Prasen went with my Syamantak. What happened to Prasen? What happened to Prasen? Dear devotees, even before he could do anything, he directly came to a conclusion. Krishna must have murdered Prasen in order to get the Syamantak jewel. And he started spreading this rumor amongst his followers. This Krishna got my brother killed. I don't know which direction Prasen has gone. Krishna got my brother killed. Krishna got my brother killed. Somehow the rumors, now you know the nature of rumors, it reached Krishna's ears. I killed Prasen? Why will I kill Prasen? Krishna initially tried to tell the elders of the assembly, I have nothing to do with. But then Krishna was upset with this Satrajit actually. Krishna then decided, I will settle the matter. Krishna said, all right, bring a few men who are close to Satrajit, I will take a few men close to me. We will organize a search party around Dwarka and we will try to find out where Prasen is. So dear devotees, a search party was organized. Krishna was personally in that search party. They all went around Dwarka and through the forests, and in some time they came across the dead body of Prasen. Besides the dead body, there was the horse who was slaughtered. Dear devotees, at this very moment, Krishna is cleared of the allegation. I hope you are able to understand, because there is something on the body of Prasen. What is on the body of Prasen? Marks of the lion. And also those marks are on the body of the horse. Doesn't this immediately clear Krishna of all the allegations? No need to do any more research. Krishna said, see here, this is what happened. Now, we will go back and take Prasen's body. No. Acharyas say by this time Krishna had decided in his mind, I will teach a lesson to Satrajit now. Krishna said, okay, but we need to see where the lion has gone. So we need to trace the footsteps of the lion and see where the lion has gone. Krishna started and the search party started tracing the footsteps of the lion. Pretty soon they came across the dead body of the lion. The Dwarkavasis got this money. Anybody who is coming in contact, they are ending up dead. Krishna said, it seems that this lion was inside the cave. I think the money is inside the cave. I should go look inside. The search party said, Maharaj, please don't go. We don't want to lose you. Krishna said, all of you stay outside. I will go inside. Krishna single-handedly went inside the cave. And dear devotees, once he went inside the cave, Krishna saw that the jewel was in the hands of the son of Jambavant. Krishna wanted to trick the child and take the jewel from him. Sometimes you take the, so like this Krishna wanted to trick the child. Krishna stood in a corner and hid from the child. Dear devotees, the child was busy playing, did not notice Krishna. Suddenly, by the arrangement of Yogamaya, the child's nurse, sometimes besides the mother, some other ladies also raise the child. The nurse happened to come there, and Krishna's body was also having an effulgence of its own. Kaustubh. So Krishna's body also had an effulgence of its own. At that point of time, that lady saw there is somebody in the room. And she noticed that there are two effulgences coming, one from the Syamantaka. And she looked at the other person and she had never seen such a person. She loudly shouted out at that point of time. The Acharyas explained this is not because Krishna appeared in a horrific way to her. Krishna's form is very beautiful. But she had never seen such a form, and seeing a stranger inside her home, she loudly shouted out. The first person to hear the shout inside was Jambavant. Jambavant came outside, and without asking anything, Jambavant started throwing fists at the same Lord with whom he had built bridges in Treta Yuga. Jambavant did not realize this was the same Bhagavan with whom I built so many bridges. Dear devotees, Jambavant had the capacity of Treta Yuga. He kept fighting and fighting and fighting, and Krishna would not give up fighting also. Both of them threw fists, stones, whatever they could get their hands on. This fight continued for not 1 day, not 2 days, a total of 28 days. The fight continued 28 days and 28 nights. Jambavant and Krishna fought continuously with each other. The poor Dwarkavasis outside, initially they heard some noises. Later the fight went inside the cave. They stopped hearing noises. They waited for 5 days, 6 days, 7 days, 12 days. After that, they thought, we lost Krishna. They returned back to Dwarka and told the Dwarkavasis that Krishna went inside the cave but did not come out. 12 days have passed. We think we lost Krishna. The Dwarkavasis were drowned in an ocean of misery. All the queens of Dwarka, many of them fainted, dear devotees, and then all of them decided, no, as long as we have not seen the body of Krishna, we will not conclude. We have not yet seen the body of Krishna. We will pray to our deity, Chandrabhaga, their family deity, Kuldevi, Chandrabhaga. We will pray to her so that Krishna may come back. Dear devotees, after 28 days, Krishna, the Acharyas say, Krishna loosened every joint on Jambavan's body. Every joint on Jambavan's body had become loose. Then Jambavan thought, is this person somebody special? Is this the same person that Sri Ram told me I will meet him again in another yuga? Finally, Jambavant realized, my God, my Bhagavan has come again, and how did I greet him? Dear devotees, how are you supposed to greet guests at home? How are you supposed to greet them? 3 things should be offered to a guest. What are the 3 things that should be offered? First is water, kind words, and a place to sit. Not fists and kicks and stones, That is what Jambavant had offered to Sri Krishna. For 28 days, Jambavant then fell at the feet of Sri Krishna and said, please excuse me, Bhagavan. I'm so sorry I could not recognize you. I was told by Sri Ram that he will come again to meet me. And now I see that you are here. I'm so sorry I forgot to recognize you. I couldn't recognize you in this form. Sri Krishna at that point of time did not say a single word to Jambavant, and instead put his hand on the body of Jambavant. And simply by putting his hand on the body of Jambavant, Jambavant was immediately healed of everything. The same hand with which Krishna punched him and loosened all the joints of his body, Bhagavan caressingly placed that hand on Jambavant's body and relieved all the distress of Jambavant. Jambavant then did Atithi Saptkar. He did proper, he properly worshipped Sri Krishna, and then he asked Sri Krishna, my dear Bhagavan, what can I do to help you? Krishna said, I'll tell you something very honestly, Jambavant. Because of this money, there is a rumor. Because of this Syamantak money, the name of this money is Syamantak. Because of this money, there is a rumor against me in Dwarka that I have murdered somebody. Can you, before even Krishna could say, can you? Our Jambavant gave that money in the hands of Krishna. So this, dear devotees, was the dedication of Jambavant towards the Supreme Lord. And Jambavant said, I am not happy simply by giving this money. I also wish to give you what I had promised you in Treta Yuga. So dear devotees, the Acharyas explain in Treta Yuga, Jambavant had a daughter whose name was Jambavati. And this Jambavati, she was not on the body of a bear, because Jambavant is actually Brahma's son. And Jambavant could take any form he desired. So Jambavant had a daughter with a Gandharva, and her name was Jambavati. She was very beautiful looking girl. And Jambavant bought Jambavati and said, Bhagavan, in Treta Yuga, I had asked you to accept her hand. But you refused, because in Treta Yuga, you had taken the vow of marrying only one. And you had told me that I should go to a particular hill and perform tapasya there, perform meditation there, and as a result of which you will accept her in the next yuga. Bhagavan, I remember the name of that hill also. That hill is very dear to you. And I performed my meditation at that hill. Which hill? Govardhan. I performed my meditation at Govardhan, and as a result I had received the vision that you will accept her hand. Today you have come, please accept Jambavati. I give you this jewel, and along with that please accept Jambavati's hand. So Bhagavan Shri Krishna said, I happily agree, I will accept. So Shri Krishna and Jambavati, they got married there. And then Shri Krishna after 28 days came out of the cave. Nobody is there outside. All have gone to Dwarka. Shri Krishna understood why everybody has gone back. Shri Krishna walked with Jambavati back to his kingdom. In the kingdom, they were worshipping Chandrabhaga. Suddenly, there was a voice in the sky of the deity Chandrabhaga. Very soon you will see Shri Krishna. And while she was saying this, Krishna entered into that assembly. So, that very time that she was saying, very soon you will see Krishna, and then people started shouting, as soon as they saw Krishna with, and Krishna has the hand of a wonderful lady with him. Who is this lady? Jambavati. So as soon as he came back, everybody was relieved. Everybody was happy. Everybody was pleased, except for one person, Satrajit. Because not only has he cast a false allegation of murder upon whom? Krishna. But something else is going to happen with him. Dear devotees, Krishna said, I am very happy to come in front of all of you again. Tomorrow I want to arrange a sabha, an assembly with all the elders. Maharaj Ugrasen should be there. All the elders, please come. Satrajit, you also please come. Everybody should come. Next day, everybody came. Krishna gave the Syamantaka money to Maharaj Ugrasen and said, Maharaj, please give this to Satrajit. I don't want it. In front of all the elders, I am telling you, please give to Satrajit. I don't want it. So the Acharyas say at this point of time, previously Krishna used to ask for Syamantaka. He wouldn't give. Now Krishna doesn't want it. Krishna is offering it directly. You take it. I don't want it. Satrajit said, no. You take it now. I don't want it. Satrajit, you keep Syamantaka. And he didn't give directly. He gave to Maharaj Ugrasen. So that again, through the king's hand it was delivered. I hope you are able to understand. Huh? Through the king's hand, officially it was delivered into Satrajit's hand. Satrajit fell into the most depressing state of his life. Not only has he lost his brother. What is the name of his brother? Prasen. On top of that, he also cast a false allegation on Krishna. Nothing auspicious is going to happen to this person. In Dwarka, there were most of the people, Yadavs, were supporters of Krishna. Satrajit started feeling threatened. Because I have cast a false allegation on whom? Now these people, will they let me live or? When he used to step out of his palace, some Yadav princess would come and say, nowadays situation is not good in Dwarka. You don't know when you will step out and when you will die. Anything can happen to you. Nowadays things are very unsafe in Dwarka, we have heard. So they used to speak next to Satrajit. Satrajit got scared at this point of time. Dear devotees, this continued for a few days until a news was received in Dwarka, and this news shook the entire Dwarka. The news that was received is that the Pandavas have died in a fire in a particular palace. Who had arranged this palace? Duryodhana. And who had arranged for the Pandavas to be saved? Vidur. But the news came that the Pandavas and Mother Kunti, they have perished in this fire. Krishna knew everything in his heart. He was the one who inspired Vidur to do it, to rescue the Pandavas. But Krishna, what? Pandavas died. We should go immediately to Hastinapur. Krishna and Balram immediately drove to which place? This, dear devotees, was a trick, because Krishna did not want to be in Dwarka when the most ghastly incident will take place with Satrajit. After Krishna and Balram left for Hastinapur, when they reached Hastinapur, Krishna and Balram, they started lamenting in front of Bhishma and Dhritarashtra. All Dhritarashtra anyways was conspiring, but anyway, they started lamenting in front of Dhritarashtra, Bhishma. And then in Dwarka, something else is happening. There were two Yadav warriors. I will speak their names, please repeat after me. Kritavarma and Akrura. They approached the younger brother of Satrajit. And they started saying something to this younger brother. His name was Shatadhanva. What was his name? He's the younger brother of Satrajit. Shatadhanva. You see, if something happens to the elder brother, his entire property belongs to which brother? I hope you're able to understand. Shatadhanva. If something happens to Satrajit, maybe, they're indirectly, they're not saying directly, this is how politicians work. If some untoward event happens, I think you have the first claim on Syamantaka. The Shatadhanva got influenced by Kritavarma and Akrura. He got so influenced, he started thinking day and night, Syamantaka will be mine. I will get 2 kg of gold every day. But how can I do this? He became blinded, and one fine day, in his blindness and thirst for acquiring Syamantaka, in the night he entered into Satrajit's chamber. And dear devotees, he ended up slaughtering Satrajit. Now, Satrajit had tried to reconcile matters with Krishna before that. You know how? Satrajit wanted to settle matters with Krishna, so Satrajit had married his daughter, Satyabhama, to Sri Krishna. He said, Krishna, I want to settle matters with you. I have one wonderful proposal for you, Krishna. Here is my daughter, Satyabhama. Will you marry her? Krishna said, all right. And I want to give you something in dowry. What do you want to give? Syamantaka. Krishna said, hey, Satrajit, I will marry Satyabhama. And since you are so broad-mindedly giving Syamantaka, I will take all the gold that it produces, you keep the jewel. Now you understand? So all the benefits go to Krishna and all the disadvantages go to Satrajit. And after a few days, this Kritavarma and Akrura, they started inciting Shatadhanva, if something happens to Satrajit. So Shatadhanva one day got blinded due to his thirst for Syamantaka and slaughtered Satrajit in sleep. This was the end of the unfortunate life of Satrajit. As soon as Satrajit died, all the queens started shouting, this Shatadhanva has killed, younger brother has killed, younger brother has killed. Satyabhama, when she found out, my goodness, my father has been slaughtered, she fell unconscious on the ground. Again she woke up, again she fell unconscious. Krishna and Balram were not in Dwarka at this point of time. Where were they? Hastinapur. Satyabhama told the guards to keep the body of Satrajit as it is, with the slaughtered head. Don't cremate his body. For 3 reasons, Acharya say. First, she wanted that her father's murderer should be killed before he is cremated. Secondly, because Satrajit had no sons. Therefore, technically, she could not perform the cremation. Therefore, also she had to wait. Thirdly, most importantly, she wanted Krishna to see the dead body of Satrajit so that Krishna must be incited to kill Shatadhanva. The devotees, she rode to Hastinapur by herself and crying in front of Krishna, she said, "Father has been slaughtered." Now Krishna already knows everything. Krishna pretends, "What? Sasurji mar gaya. Father-in-law is dead. My goodness." Dear devotees, especially those of you who are married, I am going to ask a trick question, all right? Please hear the question. How many of you don't like your father-in-law? See, nobody raised their hands. All right. I know it's a trick question. Nobody will raise their hands because they know they are being watched. But within your hearts, all of you know, some of you like, some of you may not like. If somebody doesn't like their father-in-law very much, don't worry. Evam parampara praptam. This confidential knowledge was received in disciplic succession. You're not alone. Shri Krishna also did not like his father-in-law very much. Can you see the fathers-in-law that Krishna was gifted with? One is Satrajit. Other is that Rukmini's father. Rukmini's brother. Rukmini's father. So sometimes such relationships are there. But anyways, Krishna said, "Oh my God, we should immediately head back." So Krishna headed back on the horse, and very soon they all reached Dwarka. By this time, Shatadhanva came to his senses. My goodness, Krishna and Balram, if they find me, the first thing that is, I am going to be dead. So he wanted to give the Syamantaka Muni to somebody. Two people had instigated him. Who were the two people? Akrura and Kritavarma. He first went to Kritavarma. Kritavarma, like a politician, "Hey, I didn't tell you to anything. Who told you? Who told you to murder him? I just said, somehow, if the jewel comes to you, I didn't tell you to murder him." See, this is the nature of politicians. They will incite you to do something, and when you have done it, then they'll, I didn't tell you. Dear devotees, this is the nature of Dwaraka. What is Dwaraka? Dwaraka is a big political institution. I hope you're able to understand. What is Dwaraka? It's a big political institution. In a big political institution, you will often have people like Kritavarma who will incite you to do something. And then after you've done that, then they, who told you? I didn't say anything. Then he went to the second person to give him Syamantaka. Which was the second person? Akru said, "Haribol, I am a devotee." I don't get into these things. I am a devotee, I worship that Lord. Sorry. But since Akrura was more of a Brahmanical nature, Shatadhanva forced the money into his hands. "You keep it, I am leaving." Shatadhanva left from there, and Shatadhanva took a horse. On a horseback, Shatadhanva started riding and departed from Dwarka. He fled Dwarka, dear devotees. And his horse could run for 400 miles in a single instance. Shatadhanva was on horseback, he was running. Krishna came. By the time Krishna came, Kritavarma and Akrura ran away from Dwarka. Because Krishna will find out that who was behind the entire. Krishna will pull all the threads and find out who was behind this entire incident. And then Krishna will definitely come for us. Kritavarma left, Akrura left. But the Syamantaka was with whom at this point of time? Akrura. Akrura left with the Syamantaka money and went to Varanasi, his maternal home. In Varanasi, he was in hiding. When Krishna came back, he found out through the spies that Kritavarma and Akrura incited Shatadhanva to kill Satrajit, and Shatadhanva has now fled Dwarka. Acha, which direction did Shatadhanva go in? He went in the eastern direction towards Mithila. So Krishna and Balram, they started chasing Shatadhanva. Shatadhanva's horse could only run for 400 miles. After that, his horse fell dead. Krishna and Balram chased him. And when his horse fell dead, Krishna and Balram were very close to him. Then Krishna and Balram also got down from their own chariots, because Shastra says you should not chase a person on foot who's running on foot on a horse. So they also chased Shatadhanva on foot. Finally, when Shatadhanva came near, Krishna suddenly took out his Sudarshan without any interrogation. Krishna uninstalled his head from his body. That Sanskrit literally says, Uttirayan, he removed his head. Krishna uninstalled his head from his body. Dear devotees, at this point of time, Balram said, why did you kill him directly? We should have first checked him, if he has Syamantaka or not. Why did you kill him directly? Krishna, I don't understand the ways of your working. First, okay, now that he's killed, let's search him. So they searched him. Syamantaka is not there. Balram is looking at Krishna. Krishna is looking at Balram. Krishna, you knew Syamantaka is not with him? Krishna smiles a little bit. Balram said, I've had enough with you. Acharya say Balram was thinking in his mind at this point of time, look at the extent to which this Krishna is willing to go for this Syamantaka money. If I get my hands dirty in this pastime, my name will be permanently spoiled. I better not have to do anything with this entire mess. Balram said, I am going here, my friend king of Mithila stays here. I will go and stay with him. Meanwhile, you clear up this mess and call me when everything is cleared up. I can't trust you right now because you didn't tell me before leaving Dwaraka that this person doesn't have Syamantaka. You have many expert spies, na? They didn't tell you where the Syamantaka is, Krishna? So Krishna didn't say anything at that point of time. So Balram then departed for which country? Mithila. King of Mithila is a life member of Balram's fan club. Dear devotees, this is who he is. He is a life membership in Balram's fan club. He is very big fan of Balram. Oh my God, Balram, you are here? Yeah, I am here. You should stay minimum for 1 month. Balram is thinking in his mind, I don't know if the controversy will be cleared in 1 month. But yeah, all right, I will stay for 1 month. Okay. Balram agreed to the proposal. I will stay for 1 month. Balram ended up staying for months there. And this is Balram separated from Krishna. So somebody took advantage of the situation. Duryodhan. And it was at this time that Duryodhan personally traveled to Mithila and learned something from Balram. What did Duryodhan learn from Balram? Gada Yudh, how to fight using the club, the mace. This is how, because Duryodhan knew if Krishna is there with Balram, Krishna will play some trick and make sure that I never learn from Balram. But now that Krishna is not there, now is my time to learn the art of Gada. Of course, Krishna knows. Krishna says, all right, you learn. But later I will ask Bhim to cheat. in the final war, I will ask Bhim to cheat. And Bhima in Gada Yuddha, he will strike you where? Below the waist. So anyway, cheating is always an option with Krishna. Anyway, isn't it? Yeah? So that is what Krishna already had in his mind. Krishna finally went back to Dwarka alone. And meanwhile, the Syamantaka money was still at which place? Varanasi. With whom? Akrura. So Akrura thought, "Abhi, every day 2 kg of gold is coming. Huh? Now what to do with 2 kg of gold every day? Already, by forcibly accepting Syamantak from that Shatadhanva, I have made the first big mistake. And it is daily producing 2 kg of gold. I don't want to commit the second mistake by keeping this gold for myself." Akrura started giving charity to the Brahmanas locally who are performing yajnas. No, some Brahman is performing yajna. Akrura will come to them, "My pranam, dear sir." "Yes, yes, what do you want?" "I don't want anything. I want to give something to you." "What do you want to give?" "Here is 2 kilo of gold." "What? 2 kilo of gold?" Every day to one Brahmana, "My dear sir, today I am feeling very charitable. I want to give you something." "What?" "Here is 2 kilo of gold." Dear devotees, in our ISKCON temple, sometimes we have, like this silver member, gold member, platinum member, diamond member, super diamond member, something like that, huh? So our Akrura ended up on the top of the list. In Varanasi, everybody gave him the title Danpati, the Lord of the charitable people. This is the upadhi that was given. The gold member, silver member, gold member, platinum member, diamond member, and Lord of all the charitable people. So this is the upadhi, Danpati. Yeah. So this upadhi reached Dwarka. This, it reached the ears of Krishna. Akrura is in Varanasi and he's become Danpati. Acha? Danpati? What business is Akrura doing in Varanasi? Krishna understood, already he knew that this is not Akrura's earning, this is Syamantak money. So he sent a messenger to Varanasi and told Akrura, please come back. Please be assured that I don't think ill of you. Please come back. So as soon as Akrura received the message, Akrura came back. And the first thing when he came in front of Krishna, he fell flat in front of Krishna. And with both his hands, he offered Syamantak money directly to Sri Krishna. Without a single question. At that point of time, Krishna said, "In entirety of my kingdom, you are the only person who voluntarily offered me Syamantak. You should keep it." You should keep it. And don't worry, nothing wrong will happen to you. I will protect you. Nothing wrong will happen to you. Dear devotees, finally, the Syamantak money decorated the home of which personality? Akrura. Because this money looks good only in the hand of a devotee who will voluntarily offer it to Sri Krishna. This, dear devotees, was the entire pastime of Syamantak money. And this is how the money stayed in Dwaraka, dear devotees. So many things to learn. The pastime is a very heavy one. 2 people get murdered. No, 3 people get murdered. Who are the 3? Prasen, Satrajit, Shatadhanva. All 3 get murdered. All 3 from the same family. Prasen, Satrajit, Shatadhanva. Krishna loses his father-in-law. Satyabhama loses her father. Akrura loses his trust. And Shatadhanva loses his mind. Satrajit loses his head. And everybody ends up losing because Dwarka is a big political institution, and in a big political institution there is always a fight for 2 things. What are the 2 things? Please repeat after me. Money, position. These are the 2 things where political institution always generates fights. Therefore, dear devotees, the Acharyas have told us that we should always stay in Vrindavan. Because in Vrindavan there is no political institution and there are no fights for superiority and for money. So this, dear devotees, is what we can learn from the entire episode of Syamantaka. In the 64 limbs of bhakti, Sri Rupa Goswami could have included two things, but he deliberately does not include two things. What are the two things? Please repeat after me. Earning wealth for Krishna. Earning followers for Krishna. Two things are not included in the 64 limbs of bhakti, although Rupa Goswami could have easily included them. Earning wealth for Krishna, earning followers for Krishna. Rupa Goswami composes a verse specifically for that. Dhana shishyadi bhirdvarair ya bhakti pratipadita viduratvena uttamata hanyastasyascha nangata. He says in Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, Dhana shishya adi bhirdvarair. That which is proclaimed to be bhakti on the strength of wealth or followers actually takes you far away from Uttama Bhakti. Therefore, even though I could have included earning wealth and earning followers in the 64 limbs of bhakti, I will purposely not include these in the 64 limbs of bhakti. This is what should be learnt, and this is also the mood of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Although we bring new people into the movement, we don't become lords and controllers of them. Right? Those people are bought by the mercy of Sri Krishna, by the agency of Sri Krishna. Although we bring money into the movement, it is not, oh Bhagavan, it is I who gave, remember? That is not. There was one Maharaj Nrig. He boasted in front of Krishna like this. He used to boast all the time. I give as many cows as charity, as many raindrops are falling from the sky. I give as many cows as charity, as many hair are there on my head. I give as many cows as charity, as many, as many grains of sand there are on planet Earth. This is the limit of his boasting. One day he gave one cow to one Brahmana and accidentally that cow ran back to his cowshed and he gifted that cow to another Brahmana. But for this mistake of gifting the same cow twice, he had to take birth as a lizard in a well outside Dwarka. Krikalas. He became not a lizard is small, the biggest lizard. How many of you have seen Komodo dragon? He became a Komodo dragon in a well outside Dwarka. So dear devotees, kaan pakad lo. No. You give whatever wealth is possible for you, you bring as many followers as possible. We are not the possessors of that wealth, we are not the possessors of those followers. That aham bhav should not be there within us. Because dhan and shishya, they can quickly make uttama bhakti into adhama bhakti, or it can reduce the stature of bhakti. So I hope, dear devotees, you found this pastime instructive. I also found it very instructive, because even in a city like Dwarka, what can wealth do? This is to be learnt. Thank you very much, dear devotees. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande. Hare Krishna. We are over our time. Okay. Any more questions? Huh? What? Sure.
You do Q&A or question answers or Arati? Arati?
Sure.
Thank you so much, Hari Parshad Prabhu. Let's have another round of applause for Hari Parshad Prabhu. I was going to say this in my announcements, but in case anyone here does possess the Syamantaka money that you got in succession from Akrura, please speak to me afterwards.
When is Mahabhav Prabhu's birthday? We will gift him Syamantaka.
And I know we're going to Arati next. Before we were not able to do question and answers, but if anyone has any questions after Arati, please do come and ask Prabhu, if that's okay with you, Prabhu. The next part of the program is Arati. Again, welcome everyone to our Sunday program. As we mentioned earlier today, the start of the class, earlier this morning, His Holiness Gopal Krishna Maharaj, one of Srila Prabhupada's senior most disciples, passed away. And we are mourning his loss, as are thousands and thousands of his students, followers, disciples, all over the world. So there is a picture of Maharaj here on the table with some flowers. During Arati, we request you all, you can come, offer your respects and offer some flowers to His Holiness Gopal Krishna Maharaj to express our gratitude to Maharaj for a lifetime of service to Srila Prabhupada. With that, we'll get ready for Arati. We request everyone to please rise and we will get ready. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Nidhi Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Narasimha Press. Namaste Narasimha. Lovely question.
Namaste Narasimhaya. Praladhalatadayine. Hiranyakashipurvakshara. शिलटंकालकाला है हितो नरसिम्हा परतो नरसिम्हा हुतो यामि ततो नरसिम्हा नरसिम्हा परहे नरसिम्हा नरसिंहनामदें शरणं प्रपदे तव करकमलवरे नखां अधुरशृङ्गां दलिता हिरण्यकशिपो तनुभृङ्गां केशवधृता नरहरिरूपा जगदीश हरे केशवधृता नरहरिरूपा जगदीश हरे जगदीश हरे जगदीश
श्री भक्ति विघ्न विनाशक श्री लक्ष्मी नरसिंह देव भगवान की, भक्त शिरोमणि प्रहलाद महाराज की
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, everyone. Welcome to our first Sunday program of this month of May.